Black Lives Matter. Like, Black lives still matter, but you won't believe how megachurches responded to this. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. All right, so I used to work in a megachurch. I don't anymore, but I've got a lot of friends at a lot of different megachurches, and these stories just will blow your mind. So here's one. Youth pastor posts Black Lives Matter back when George Floyd was happening and the whole world was trying to figure out how to fight for racial injustice. And this youth pastor, had kids who were African American in their predominantly white youth group. And so they posted Black Lives Matter on their social media campaigns. And then they were called into the office and told to take it down, because if they didn't, there was going to be professional repercussions. And they said, no, I'm not taking it down. I'm showing the African American kids in our youth group that they are safe here. And they were repeatedly threatened with their job to take it down. And I'm so proud of them because they didn't. And eventually they just left because they couldn't stay in that racist church. Then there's the worship leader who said Black Lives Matter on stage at a megachurch and immediately had their job threatened because one of the rich band members was racist and thought that was not okay and was not appropriate and did not think that Black Lives Matter. And then there was the associate pastor who, really did it the right way, in the sense that they knew they had a conservative congregation, but they also knew that they needed to stand up for what was right. So they said Black Lives Matter at the end of explaining why that was important, what it meant, what was going on in the world, and why this was not a political issue. This was a moral issue, that this is the kind of thing that Jesus would have been all up involved in. And so they said at the end, Black Lives Matter. And they were called up the same day and told that they needed to make a public apology for what they said. They didn't. And their life was hard. But, sometimes having a hard life for doing the right thing is a little bit of a reward. It's still hard, but it's hard for the right reason. And I'm saying this, I'm making this video for a couple of reasons. Number one, Black lives still matter. It's still a moral issue, and it's nothing that's come even close to being solved when we talk about racism. But I'm saying it too because of the way racism has been sort of just insidiously seeping into and growing within the Christian church movement. And the more power that these churches wield and the more power that individuals within the church wield, the more likely they are to compromise their values and say, and push back on people making a stand against things like, racism or homophobia or immigration reform or any of those other things that are moral issues. They are issues that are intrinsically related to our faith. And when there's too much power and too much money involved, it gets real bad. So here's what I want to propose. I want to propose that every church leader has to go through some sort of diversity training, but that there are real consequences. When a church leader makes a racist comment, they have to issue an apology, and they are immediately removed from whatever leadership capacity that they have. And if there's something that's borderline, you're not then they have to issue an apology. And then if it ever happens again, they're done. Because any person who is delivering anything other than solidarity with people who are victims of injustice, people who are victims of hate crimes and homophobia and racism and all of the things, sexism, right? Anyone who makes this sort of misogynistic, all of it, all of those people need to be out. They can come. They can listen to people teach them to not be misogynist, racist, homophobic, any of it. They can come and listen, but they can't lead. They can't lead until they have that miraculous power to actually change. And until that happens, I think the church is doomed. Not all churches are like this. There's some good ones. Like, there are some real good ones. If you're looking for them, rmnetwork.org is a good place to start, but like, you're looking for a needle in the haystack sometimes. And if you need help doing that, reach out to me. My DMs are open. I'd love to help you find a place. Or you can just be part of our Skeptic Pastor community. We've got a great Discord. You can DM me for that too.